Hey, excuse me. Morning, everybody. How's it going? Leon Kurita-Goudlock here out of Westchester, New York. It's Tuesday morning. It's actually a little bit earlier than it is usually. Doesn't It's still cold outside. That doesn't change, but it's a little bit earlier than I usually do this on the weekdays because I need to go into the office early and do some things. In Westchester in the morning, the trains don't come very much, so you can either catch the 5:07, you can catch the 5:39, the 5:49, or wait till after 6 o'clock. So, I wake up at 4 in the morning anyway. I'm going to get out of the house pretty early, get on the first train, and be in there and get it done. So I thought it would be perfect timing to talk about a topic like work-life balance. So we're going to do that one for today. It's going to be a quick one because I think this is one topic that everyone either you know what it is for you, or you're set in your ways, or you're not going to be convinced otherwise. But I did want to talk about work-life balance for a little bit. It's a little bit ironic that I would talk about work-life balance. If you know me, a lot of you would say that I probably have none, but that's the point of the discussion, because I think that this is one of those topics where it's very easy to impose what you believe or how you feel about this topic onto others, or kind of to project the way that you think reality should be onto others. So, from the third person point of view, it may look like I don't have work-life balance, but that is my balance. I think that this is a very unique and interesting thing because it's different for everybody. So you can kind of compare it almost to a diet or to weightlifting. I'm a person who, if I'm not on a strict diet, I don't know about internally, but externally it doesn't really matter. I can sit around and I can eat, I can have a triple cheeseburger, or I can eat a whole pizza, or a tray of cupcakes. Not saying that I do any of this, but if I wanted to, I could do that, and it probably wouldn't do that much to my physique. But a lot of people, that's not the case. They have one cupcake and then they're bloated for days, or this and that and the other thing. So work-life balance is just one of those topics that it's different for everyone, and I think it's easier if we just let it be that way, right? I don't think that we need to always worry about imposing our beliefs or our systems of doing onto others. I think being suggestive is good, but feeling that other people are from another planet just because they like to work a little bit longer, or the opposite, just because they like to not work, or whatever the definition of work is, right? As much is not necessarily the best thing. So just being yourself in this case, I think is the best way to go here. A few things that I did want to say though about the topic. So I don't think that the 9 to 5 exists anymore. I definitely think that in the past, for more traditional careers, especially in government or these kind of things, city jobs, etc., the 9 to 5 is something that did exist. It probably still does exist. Teaching, I know that my father was in academia. He would often, I would say that he had a 9 to 5, which was great for us growing up because we actually got to see him and we got to spend summers with him, etc. My mom, I don't think she worked as much as I do now, but her job was not the traditional 9 to 5, I would say. Luckily, she was still able to make time for us. But in my experience, after getting out of school and starting to work, especially when you have something like an iPhone on you that you can check your email on all the time, and people can call you anytime they want on, the 9 to 5 definitely has dissolved over the years. I also think that once you show people that you're willing to work outside of the hours of 9 to 5, that they're a lot more open to not holding back and to calling you on those off hours to get stuff done. But hey, that's fine, because that's life. I think also it depends where you want to go in life. So I kind of talked about this in one of the earlier vlogs. One of the political leaders in the past of South Korea said that he had to wake up, or he had to sleep only 3 hours a day from a certain time in his life to when he became a leader in order to get all of the things done in life that enabled him to become that leader. So, and if I watch the CEO of our company as well, he's just a person with no time. You can't buy this man's time. You can, but I mean, you wouldn't be eating lunch for a while. I think, or worse. So, he's definitely a man with no time, and it takes sacrifice to be number one. So I think that if you don't, and some people would like to say otherwise, and I find that a lot of people who are not number one at anything love to say otherwise, but if you really want to be number one, the undisputed number one in the world at something, you will not just be working at it 9 to 5. And I think that you have to kind of step back, and your definition, you have to kind of malleate the definition of what work is in your mind as well. Because technically being in the desk, typing emails, doing projects, talking with team members doesn't necessarily mean work, right? That might be like the hard definition of work, but I would say that the soft definition of work even extends to thinking about work, right? So if you're on a beach in Hawaii and you're on PTO, part-time off, and you are thinking about work the whole time, you don't even have to touch your iPhone. You don't have to speak to a colleague. But if you're sitting on a beach in paradise stressed about work, well, sorry, but the news for you is you're still working. So when we talk about this work-life balance, it's not, I think that we have to step outside of the box of what working really is. And it almost kind of dispels the ability to even talk about a topic like this, because right now our lives, I think, are so meshed there's so much a mesh between work and life. I could be going out and decide to just check my work email and shoot a few things off to my team to make sure that they get done early the next day. That may or may not stress me out, so I may not feel like that's work. But then again, the person next to you may or may not be different. So one thing that I always try and remember, and I've spoken about this on other vlogs, is you have to be flexible, right? Because until you can kind of come home, or until you're coming home and saying, okay, this one thing or this other thing has been happening to me for the last 10 years, then I think it's really about your day-to-day and how you approach each day as individually, right? Until it becomes a pattern, I don't think that there are too many things to worry about. So, coming home at the end of the week and, being tired because you had to spend one extra day in the office, or you had to work a Saturday, or you stayed until 9 p.m. I think that that's kind of life, and that's not really work-life balance issue. That's more of a matter of don't fear the grind, right? So people, tend to get caught up if you're more on the side of, balancing that life aspect over that work aspect. I do find sometimes that people get a little bit caught up with trying to balance it out too much, too perfectly. They have to have every weekend to themselves for the year, or they have to, do this and that. They'll never work on a Saturday. They can't even think about it. I think that can almost be counterproductive sometimes, and I don't know if it really matters what country you're from, because there are plenty of hardworking. I know the stereotype is that in Europe the work-life balance might be a little bit better than it is in the States. Or that in Japan the work-life balance is horrible, that it favors work over life. To some extent, a lot of stereotypes do have truths behind them, but I would say that now more than ever, that's not the case in a lot of circles. I have friends in both of those countries respectively that are the opposite of the stereotype very much, and they live amazing lives. So I would say be flexible and not fear, or don't fear the grind, are two keys that you can always keep in mind, and you'll have a lot less stress. I think at the end of the day, as I said in vlog number 1, if you're not doing for others and you're doing for yourself, you can definitely trust your instinct in terms of a topic like work-life balance. You don't need to worry about when other people are walking out of the office or what your friends say. Think that as long as you're going home every night feeling fulfilled, feeling like you made the right decisions with your day and with your time, and that you're not affecting, people that you love or family members in a negative way, then I think that's the key. So again, doing what you think is right in the situation. Balance also, remember, it can take different forms at different times in life, right? So what balance means to you in terms of like work versus life at 22 should definitely be different than something that it means to you at 26. It should be different than something that it means to you at 30. And the definition of that to you will definitely be different at 40, because you might have 3 kids and a family, or you might have none. Again, it depends, but you might have your own business, right? So it depends on the time in your life, it depends on your goals, and what it definitely does not depend on is what anyone around you is saying about the topic. It's all up to you. So I definitely just want to leave you with the most important piece of advice, or something to take away that I remind myself every day, is just don't do something that you'll regret, right? So as long as you're not regretting it, you will definitely be happy with it at the end of the day. Do for yourself, don't do for others. Understand, the situations that you're getting yourself into, and make educated decisions. Don't just think, because then you will end up probably not taking action and regretting something, or wasting your time, right? Not making optimal use of the time that you are spending doing something. But don't just think, put it into action, make decisions, and then move on. Everything is pretty binary, I think, in life. So as long as you can live with what you're doing, there's no real need to worry about, do I have as much balance as the next person next to me, or as my boss, or as my colleagues, etc. Doing what is right for you, just like in the gym, just like with your diet, is going to be the key to success here. So if you can take that away today, it's Tuesday, it's still early in the week, so if you were in the office late yesterday, if you're going in early like me today, just go in, get it done, no worries, and balance will work itself out. So let's try and have a good day, okay, everybody? Talk soon. Bye.